This isn't just footage. It's a reflection of a reality that continues long after the video ends. The Ukraine-Russia war is still affecting countless lives, and stories like this deserve to be seen. If this video meant something to you, take a moment to like it and drop a comment with where you're watching from. Your support helps push this message further, spreading awareness and making sure these moments are not ignored. Near the village of Shakhov, Ukrainian soldiers move in with precision toward an enemy observation post. The approach is controlled, quiet, and deliberate, every step calculated to close the distance without giving away their position. Then contact. The assault begins fast. The position is hit with sudden force, leaving little time to react. In the chaos of the engagement, resistance is broken, and two soldiers from the 132nd Separate Motorized Rifle Brigade are captured alive. The objective is secured, but the situation doesn't pause. The team immediately shifts focus, maintaining control of the position while preparing for what could come next. From a first-person perspective near Makiivka, the scene opens in motion, Ukrainian soldiers advancing toward a fortified enemy position. There's no pause, no hesitation. The camera captures every step as it happens, placing you right into the moment where awareness and reaction define everything. The approach is fast but controlled. Weapons up. Eyes scanning. Every corner, every piece of ground is checked because hidden positions can be anywhere. The terrain is uneven, broken, filled with signs of previous fighting. But even in that chaos, the movement remains deliberate. No one rushes blindly. Every step is taken with purpose. Then contact. The assault begins instantly. The position is engaged at close range, leaving little time for reaction. One enemy fighter is eliminated during the exchange, the result of a fast and decisive push that doesn't allow the defenders to regain control of the situation. But the fight doesn't end there. Another soldier is wounded. The pressure continues, but the situation shifts. Instead of continued resistance, there's a moment of decision. The wounded fighter surrenders. The engagement transitions from direct combat to control. Weapons remain ready, but the focus changes. First aid is given. Even in the middle of the battlefield, the shift is clear. The same hands that were just engaged in combat now work to stabilize the situation. It's fast, controlled, and focused, because even in moments like this, time matters. Another soldier follows. Surrender. The position is no longer resisting. Control is established, but the tension doesn't disappear, because even after contact, every position must be cleared completely, every angle checked, every detail confirmed. And then, something small but critical. At one moment, a subtle detail stands out. A covered bolt hole concealed under tarpaulin and leaves, easy to miss. The kind of detail that, under stress, can go unnoticed, but here it's detected. Recognized. Acted on. A shot is fired from above, clearing the concealed position before it can become a threat. It's a reminder of how awareness works in real time, how survival depends not just on speed, but on observation. Because in environments like this, it's not always the obvious dangers that matter most. It's the hidden ones, the ones that blend into the surroundings, the ones that require focus even under pressure. And as the position is secured, the team continues to move, checking, confirming, ensuring that nothing is left behind. Because in a fight like this, control isn't assumed, it's proven step by step. The team spreads out through the position, transitioning from assault to full clearance. Every structure, every depression in the ground, every piece of cover is treated as a potential threat. Movement slows, not from hesitation, but from discipline. This is where attention to detail matters most. Weapons stay up. Angles are covered. Communication remains short and precise. Each soldier knows their sector, scanning methodically, making sure nothing is overlooked. Because even after surrender, Even after initial control is established, the environment itself can still hide danger. The ground tells part of the story. Spent casings, disturbed soil, makeshift cover, signs of how the position was held and defended. But those same elements can also conceal what's left behind. Unseen threats, unchecked spaces. That's why every step is measured, every movement deliberate. The captured soldiers are secured and monitored, kept under control while the rest of the team continues clearing. There's no break in focus. One part of the group handles control, another continues the sweep, ensuring that responsibility is divided but coordination remains intact. Then comes the next layer, verification. Positions that were already checked are checked again. Different angles, different perspectives. Because what wasn't visible from one direction might be clear from another. It's a process built on redundancy, not assumption. Out here, missing something small can have consequences that show up seconds or minutes later. The atmosphere remains tense. Quiet but not calm. Every sound stands out. Every movement is noticed. Even the smallest shift in the environment draws attention. It's not just about what's in front of them anymore. It's about everything around them. Slowly, the position begins to stabilize. Control becomes more defined. Fields of view are established. Movement becomes more structured. But even then, no one relaxes. Because experience has taught them that control is never absolute. Not in a place like this. Not when the situation can change without warning. With the immediate area brought under control, the focus shifts to holding and organizing the position. Sectors are assigned more clearly now. Lines of observation extended outward beyond the original objective. What was once an enemy-held point begins to transform into a controlled space, but the transition is careful, deliberate. No assumptions, no shortcuts. The team reinforces what they've taken. Cover is improved where possible, angles are adjusted, and positions are selected with both defense and visibility in mind. It's no longer just about clearing. It's about preparing for the possibility of contact from another direction. Because the battlefield doesn't isolate moments. What happens here connects to what's happening beyond it. Communication continues to flow, brief and direct, linking this position to others in the area. Information moves quickly. What was found, what was secured, what might still pose a risk. Every detail matters, feeding into a larger picture that extends beyond what the camera shows. The captured soldiers remain under control, monitored without distraction from the broader task. Even in this phase, discipline doesn't shift. Every role is maintained, every responsibility clear. And still, the environment holds tension. Not active fighting, but not safe either. Every distant sound is noted. Every movement beyond the immediate perimeter is watched. Because even after a successful assault, the possibility of response is always there, delayed, indirect, or unexpected. The position now stands as a point of control, but only because it's being actively maintained. Step by step. Second by second. Because out here, nothing stays secure on its own. Across the temporarily occupied territories, operators from the Special Operations Forces Ukraine are extending the reach of the battlefield far beyond the front line. These aren't direct engagements. They're calculated strikes aimed deep into the rear, where the systems that sustain operations are most vulnerable. At the center of this effort, FP2 drones. Fast, precise, and directed at targets that matter. Rear infrastructure, logistics nodes, and operational hubs become the focus. These are the points that keep everything moving, everything connected, everything functioning. And when they're hit, the impact spreads. It's not just about damage, it's about disruption. Supply chains slow down. Coordination becomes harder. The ability to sustain pressure at the front begins to weaken. Each strike creates a ripple that moves far beyond the point of impact. And as these operations continue, targeting deeper and more consistently, the pressure on the entire system keeps building. That pressure compounds over time, turning isolated strikes into a continuous strain. Repair efforts are forced to keep up, resources are redirected, and attention is split across multiple problem points at once. The deeper the strikes reach, the harder it becomes to maintain stability, and that's the shift from isolated disruption to sustained imbalance. Because when rear infrastructure is under constant threat, the entire system begins to feel it.